Oh, yeah, buddy. Welcome to Frontline. 6 o'clock on the East Coast, and the government's been shut down for like 210 hours or something. But we begin with some really hot news out of the nation's capital, where a federal grand jury has indicted New York Attorney General Letitia James for mortgage fraud. We're going to hit this in just a few minutes with her arch nemesis, Eric Trump. I'm so excited for that segment. Also, the lefty charged in starting the Pacific Palisades fire, Jonathan Renderneck, or whatever his name was a Joe Biden donor back in 2020, shelling out only a couple bucks, because that's all he had, to act blue September of 2020. Oh, he also burnt a Bible. Yeah, seems like a great guy. And a federal judge today says there's no evidence of improper use of the federal troops in their deployment to protect ICE facilities in Portland. But first, aside from Tish James, the metrics by which the left is evaluating Donald Trump do not exist on the plane of reality. Let's do this. I mean, as if solving world peace wasn't enough. Letitia James getting indicted on bank fraud today by a grand jury. Remember, she claimed her primary residence on places she didn't live in and allegedly lied at this point about the number of units in her rental properties on a loan document, simultaneously while prosecuting Donald Trump for fraudulent loan stuff. But what? I mean, we're about to have Eric on this, who's just going to drop bombs on this. But this is like the mortal enemy, the woman that tried to take his business, bankrupt him. She basically kicked him and his family out of New York. And I'm going to get to this in just a second. But just before that happened, Trump made his 8th global peace deal in 9 months. Mark it. 8 wars ended to Biden's 2 started. Marco Rubio, sitting next to Trump's right, who is, that guy's got like 30 jobs right there. He's Secretary of State, National Security Advisor. He's archivist for the United States. I don't even know what that is. Administrator of USAID, now that it's shutting down. That's just a few of them. He kind of led the charge on talking about how important and how difficult this was dealing with Hamas, a government elected by a populace with an average IQ of like 67.
One day, perhaps the entire story will be told about the events of yesterday, but suffice it to say, it's not an exaggeration that none of it would have been possible without the President of the United States being involved.
You know what I find funny, too, is like Obama got the Nobel Peace Prize for nothing. Just showing up at the White House. He didn't even know why he got it. And Trump stops 8 wars and nothing? This broke during the very end of our show last night, if you remember, as I was tossing over to Rob. But think about the gravity of this. And I'm not just kissing the ring here, okay? Trump took 2 mortal enemy parties, okay? Jews and Muslims have been fighting and killing each other for like 1,500 years indiscriminately. So you have people that in their religious doctrine have sought to just eliminate each other for 15 centuries. You remember Trump's frustration over this?
We basically have 2 countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
But he somehow got them there. Trump got those guys to sit down at a table and stop shooting each other for like 5 seconds. Funniest part about this is how unreasonable it makes the leaders of Portland, Chicago, and California look, who won't even talk to their own president. But Trump got the Middle Eastern enemies to the same table. But we were told that Biden and his cabinet, they were the experts, right?
Anybody who has any connection to reality about what is going on around them should have watched that and said, the adults are back in the room.
How's that reality now, Dana? Those adults allowed 2 wars to start and caused almost 30% inflation over their term. Democrats have a history, though, of just being awful. I mean, they're bad at everything, but specifically bad at foreign policy. Apparently, they're doing a really bad job at their mortgage applications, too. Tish James, looking at you. Going back to Russia, though, when they took Crimea in 2008 under Barack Obama, they sacked our embassy in Libya in 2012, and then they lied to us, told it was about some stupid YouTube video. But then we just up and left like $80 billion worth of military equipment in Afghanistan, which that Taliban now has. I mean, okay. I think people should take a good look, because what you're seeing right now in this administration with foreign policy, with the tariffs and peace deals and trade negotiations and different trade parameters, this is what somebody who puts America first and is not owned looks like. Which brings me back to our shores, where it seems that Democrats are also working against us here. How many times have we seen Democrats shut down the government to get what they want? Barack Obama shut down the government for like 3 weeks to get Obamacare passed. That tripled the price of basically everybody's health care. If there's a single person out there who's like, yeah, Trump is bad or whatever, just give me a rational I realize that they don't operate on a plane of rationale, but give me a rational reason why. I was talking to a friend this morning before I got on the train about this, and it comes down to the fact that there's like no universal definition of success here in America between the two parties. And you got to think about it, like what is as conservatives, what's our vision for this country? It's big, tough military, so nobody wants to mess with us, so we can have that whole safety thing. Don't devalue my dollar. Don't waste a bunch of money on circumcisions in Zambia. Get out of my business and get out of my wallet, get out of my bedroom, minimum government, maximum freedom. And what's the left? Well, what are they fighting for? They're just saying, oh, Trump is terrible. They're not fighting for anything. I mean, this is why they're failing in every single poll. And I'm not trying to give Democrats advice because I love it when they lose, but what is their message to the American people right now? As far as I can see, it's like peace is bad, crime is fine. Oh, and stop complaining because it's not actually happening. And anybody who says it is, it's disinformation. Like, we got to confiscate your money via taxes and give it to third world countries to research sex changes in sub-Saharan Africa while we print more money so your dollar's worth. I mean, that's what they're doing. That's their message. And your voter base is like so preoccupied with organic bake sales set up under a pop-up tent out of the back of their Prius to feed the nearest Antifa riot to raise money for who knows what liberal cause for abortion outside of an ICE facility, getting in the way of them deporting bad guys. Grow up. Eric Trump, the executive vice president of the Trump Organization, the fantastic author of Under Siege, My Family's Fight to Save Our Nation, that is, Eric, already a #1 bestseller. In this book, you literally talk about what's going on with Letitia James, and I'm sure you're just spiking the football in the past few hours.
Well, Carl, you've been a friend of mine for a long time. You saw the hell that I went through. They did everything they could to destroy our family. I mean, you saw me every single day in those courtrooms. They impeached my father. They went after him, mercilessly. I got 112 subpoenas, the most in the history of this country. They deplatformed us. They debanked us. They leaked our tax returns. They made up the Russia hoax. They made up the dirty dossiers. They took us off the ballot of Maine. They took us off the ballot in Colorado. They did everything they could to destroy our family, and that woman right there was at the front of it. I mean, she literally sued us over the fact that we had never missed a mortgage payment. We had paid back banks and made banks hundreds of millions of dollars. Deutsche Bank was on the stand testifying that we were one of the greatest real estate companies in the world, had made them a lot of money. They considered us platinum borrowers. They considered us the big whale, never had a default, never missed a payment, was never in any kind of breach. And she went after us to try and throw us out of New York. She wanted to take our buildings, and she lost. She got a rigged decision, and I just overturned it at the appellate court, 5-0, including the presiding judge of New York State. And so, today's, a great irony that the very same people that tried to throw us out of a state, that tried to bankrupt our family, that tried to destroy a company, falls to the very same thing that she did. It's projection. It's like the #1 playbook of the Democrats. It's projection. And so I'm really proud of the book. The book went to #1 instantly, and she was a big part of it. She was a big part of it, and it's interesting that she went after us for doing exactly what she did.
Yeah, and I got to say, that book it's staggering. Like, everybody's seen the news. Everybody's seen what's what's reported. What's in that book, what you actually went through, like literally everybody, if you're watching this show, you have to read, your jaw will hit the floor with the stuff that never made it to the news cycle. It's unbelievable to me. So that said, Tish is responding, and Eric, I swear, she is calling this the weaponization of the justice system. Watch this.
This is nothing more than a continuation of the president's desperate weaponization of our justice system. He is forcing federal law enforcement agencies to do his bidding, all because I did my job as the New York State Attorney General. The president's actions are a grave violation of our constitutional order and have drawn sharp criticism from members of both parties.
And I couldn't help but think, like, if you're going to campaign on going after the president of the United States, maybe don't commit mortgage fraud.
You know, Carl, I was hoping right after that you would roll her videos where she literally campaigned on taking down my father, saying that she was going to go into the office of Attorney General every day, sue him, and then go home. And then, you know, there's another video, I'm going to get him. I'm going to be a real pain in his ass. He's going to know my name. I'm going to get the man. I'm going to get his family. I'm going to get everybody associated with his family. Yet the great irony that she says she's the one, you know, he's the one weaponizing, you know, the justice system. I mean, her entire life, every tweet that she sent, everything that she did was aimed at my father and our family and trying to destroy him. She was going back and forth to Washington, D.C. continuously to try and destroy him.
Right.
Almost a $600 million fine for not a single loan doc violation, for having your banks testify that you're the best borrower that they've ever had. You know, and yet we're weaponizing government. I mean, I find it highly ironic. But you know what? We had our day in court. We won. We won 5-0. The whole thing was overturned. And, you know, she'll have her day in court now.
But that's the other thing, Eric. She actually came out and in that same video where she looks like a hostage, actually, stands by her prosecution of your family. Watch this.
I stand strongly behind my office's litigation against the Trump Organization. We conducted a 2-year investigation based on the facts and evidence, not politics. Judges have upheld the trial court's finding that Donald Trump, his company, and his 2 sons are liable for fraud.
Facts and evidence. Whatever she's smoking's got to be illegal.
Honestly, Carl, it is truly insane. You know, and it's so sad for me because it's so bad for New York. I mean, people are moving out of New York left and right. I had to get the hell out of there. I didn't want to. I love that city. And I left. You know, this is the madness. I mean, this is the madness. Instead of locking up criminals on the streets, you know, they're effectively, what are they doing? They're kicking out the biggest companies in New York, the biggest taxpayers in New York, right? I mean, it's why the city is going to absolute hell. It's right there, right? Her entire campaign was get Donald Trump, not take care of bad guys, not take care of fraudsters. You know, go after a company that's never missed a mortgage payment, that's been a perfect borrower, that's conducted themselves perfectly because it would help the other side, because it would help the other political team. I mean, it's highly ironic, you know, that she's in the spot that she's in where apparently, and I don't know, I'll ultimately read the indictment, but from everything I'm reading right now, she's lying about the number of units, right? She's filing, you know, false applications for mortgages. Isn't that what she accused us of, even though we didn't do any of that and the banks said that we were incredible at what we do, because we are as a company.
Eric, her as the subject matter expert determined that Mar-a-Lago was worth $18 million. Like, if it's worth $18 million, I will get it today.
$18 million, yeah. That's right.
I
said which tennis court? I mean, based on the land prices in Palm Beach County, right? Which tennis court? But, you know, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I wish this wasn't the state of the country. I wish she wouldn't have, you know, done this to us, and I wish she wouldn't have committed apparent mortgage fraud, whatever she ended up doing. And so, listen, she'll have her day in court. We had our day in court. You know, we won 5-0. They threw out the entire judgment, and including, by the way, the presiding judge in New York State. And, you know, she'll have her day in court.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. But she goes on at the end. This is like blew my mind when this came through. She goes on to tout her faith. Roll this.
I'm a proud woman of faith. And I know that faith and fear cannot share the same space. And so today, I'm not fearful. I'm fearless. And as my faith teaches me, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. We will fight these baseless charges aggressively, and my office will continue to fiercely protect New Yorkers and their rights. And I will continue to do my job.
Seems a little delusional to me, but I do recall that the New York State Legislature actually planned this, and they put in a $10 million slush fund, paid for by the tax dollars of the great people of New York. So in case she gets sued or any of this stuff happens or criminal charges, the taxpayers will pay her legal fees, unlike what you had to pay.
Well, one other thing, I mean, everybody forgets about Andrew Cuomo here. I mean, she went after the governor, Andrew Cuomo. Mm-hmm. She threw him out of office to then 3 weeks later run for governor of New York. I mean, think about using your position to throw somebody out of their job only to run for the very job of the person you just threw out of that job, right? And I don't know why everybody forgets that. Now, she lasted in that race about 3 weeks before she had to resign in total disgrace because her poll numbers were atrocious. But her entire platform has been weaponizing her office right? You know, against her political opponents. That's all she's ever been known for. I mean, she ran on that campaign promise. She fundraised on that campaign promise. The videos are out there. You've played them 1,000 times on this show. You know those videos as well as I do. Those are the same videos that we were playing over and over and over, you know, in the various courtrooms in New York. And so, you know, it wasn't just Trump. It was actually almost bipartisan. I mean, she went after Cuomo and literally threw him out of the governorship, you know, so she could ascend the political ladder in New York. Yeah. Fortunately, she failed. No, it's unbelievable. Eric, your book, Under Siege. I don't ask my viewers to do stuff a lot or almost ever. They need to buy this book. It's staggering. Everything that you talked about in there is literally coming true, and it all happened. It's unbelievable. We appreciate you joining us. Sorry you went through this. Hopefully you're vindicated after all this, and hope you sleep well tonight. I appreciate it, Carl. You've been a great friend, and thanks for being a big part of this battle. Always will be. All right, coming up, as the chaos in Portland continues, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem is giving officials there an ultimatum before taking matters into their own hands. Get those details coming up in just a bit. But first, President Trump keeping his promise to the American people of making America safe again as he tackles the cartel. So why in the world are Democrats so mad about it? Next.
Just before Charlie Kirk died, he issued a stark warning of terrifying dangers ahead. Charlie wrote this in the foreword for the new book, Pagan Threat, by Pastor Lucas Miles. Charlie said that Pagan Threat could save America and that you must read and share this book. A #1 Amazon bestseller, Pagan Threat is available everywhere. Get Pagan Threat free with Newsmax's special offer and save $30. Go online today and read Charlie's final words.
Every day across the globe, big business agendas go unseen by investors. Things that go against your core values and beliefs. It's time to know your investments. Abortion, alternative lifestyles, gender and identity confusion. If you believe in protecting marriage and life, children, innocence, guarding masculinity, restoring families, defending religious liberty, invest with your values. Before investing, carefully consider the fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the investment company. This and other important information can be found in the fund's prospectus. To obtain a copy, visit timothyplan.com or call 800-846-7526. Read each prospectus carefully before investing. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Chubb Insurance is betting big on communist China, pouring billions into Chinese companies. Chubb CEO Evan Greenberg has praised China's ascent, urged America to stay quiet on Taiwan. Greenberg advises a Chinese university with ties to China's military, while U.S. leaders warn of China's growing threat. Chubb is investing more, standing closer, tied tighter. Chubb and China. Your friends show who you really are.
In the words of our president, be warned, if you're transporting drugs that can kill Americans, we're hunting you. Kicking off in early September, the administration has been pretty aggressively striking apparent Venezuelan drug boats. For the first time was on September 2nd, killing 11 narco-terrorists in what the Pentagon called a precision strike. I'd say it's precision to hit a moving boat with a rocket or a missile. Again, this is a drug vessel operated by the narco-terrorist organization in Venezuela. Second strike, September 15th, 3 people killed in action. Third strike, September 19th, another 3 narco-terrorists aboard that vessel. And finally, the latest strike on October 3rd, a boat loaded with enough drugs to kill 25 to 50,000 people, and 4 people were killed on that one. Trump keeping his promise to the American people of making America safe again. But of course, specifically Adam Schiff, they're having just some weird meltdown over it. Roll this.
If a president in secret can put names on a list and kill them, then there is no war power still retained by Congress, and there's no check on an executive who may drag us into another war.
Where was he when Obama was like drone striking people at random? I think he killed almost like 4 Americans or something like that too. Unbelievable. CEO of Compass Strategies, Luke Ball, conservative blogger Bill Whittle. Bill, I'm just thinking, I'm like, Obama was going around drone striking people left and right.
Well, I think the main reason that so many of these progressive elitists are outraged by these videos is because I think they look at them and they think, hey, wait a minute, those might have been my drugs. the unwillingness of progressives to understand a threat is actually biologically based. There's a part of the brain that's really undeveloped or underdeveloped in liberals called the amygdala, and the amygdala is your threat warning system. If you look at like a heat map of where people put their values, you find that progressives and liberals tend to value more highly people that are further and further away from them. Conservatives tend to value people that are closer to them. Mm-hmm. So all of this is just plain kind of nuts, but especially the idea that, as you just heard Schiff say, that the president is just like picking names out of a hat and just assassinating people. It's kind of like the bedroom break-in thing, right? If you don't want to get shot, it's probably not a good idea to break into somebody's house at 4 o'clock in the morning. And if you don't want to get blown up by a Hellfire missile, it's probably a good idea to not come running at the country with a boatload of drugs.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. But actually, so I had a credible source contact me on this after we did a segment on it last night. And he actually said, there are potentially, and he was in Intel for 25 years. He said that a lot of times the hostage cartel, the cartel people will take hostages of family members. And then, Luke, they'll force one of the other family members to go drive that boat with drugs to wherever it needs to get to. Otherwise, they're going to off your family. And I'm thinking, if that's the case, well, maybe we need to go in and get more aggressive.
Absolutely, and the intelligence behind the strikes is what leads us to understand who is actually driving these boats, and they are drug cartel members. And first of all, with President Trump, we know who's actually hitting the button. We know the administration is signing off on this, as opposed to Joe Biden, who probably had the auto pen sign off on any drone strike that ever happened under his administration. Facts. And in addition to that, it seems like the drug cartel members were expecting a welcome banner, puppy dogs, and waffles to be thrown at them. But now we have a deterrent going against the drug cartel members. Now we have somebody who says no more are we going to allow them into our country.
Bill, you're in California, which I apologize for every time. I know geographically the state is red, but it's electorally blue because you have so many people crammed into the city. Sonoma County in California, they're bringing back mask mandates. I don't know if it's because everyone's ugly and they want to cover their faces, but they're saying it's because of a greater risk of COVID-19. I'm like, they didn't work the first time. They don't work this time. They never work, and they don't do anything except for cover ugly people's faces.
As far as the California thing goes, I'm just too heavily taxed to be able to afford to move out. That's the real problem. Yeah, if you're going to be a one-trick pony, you got to know how to do the trick, right? I've been saying from certainly by the beginning of 2021 that the blue paper mask is the MAGA hat for progressives. It's a way for them to identify themselves among their other progressives. Everybody knows that they don't do any good, and everybody knows that all of this is for show. So if they want to bring the mask back for their particular neighborhoods, I suppose it's their business. But I'll tell you one thing, Carl, when the COVID-19 first started, a lot of good-hearted Americans said, we don't know what's going on. It's 2 weeks to flatten the curve. I'm more than willing to help my fellow Americans out. Sure. But after what we saw, it's just sheer coercion. I don't think people are going to put up with it.
No, and Luke, I remember watching people, I take the train out of Grand Central, which is basically a Petri dish. They drop the mask on the floor of the train, they put it back up, put it on their face. I'm like, dude, that guy just walked through toilet paper and you just dropped your mask on top of it.
Yeah, well, maybe they didn't know which one they were picking up, but to Bill's point, it also just shows who's the liberal. Like if I'm getting on a Southwest flight and I don't have an assigned seat and I see these people who are basically wearing their left-wing progressive politics on their face, I know I'm probably not going to go and sit beside them, or I am going to go sit beside them and put on my MAGA hat and make sure they don't have a very comfortable flight moving forward. But it is all part of their identity. It is not for their health. It is for their politics that they wear across their mouth.
Yeah, that's why we are friends. All right, Luke, Bill, we appreciate it.
Thanks, Carl.
Coming up, cranky Katie Porter, to say it nicely, is back showing her true colors in another resurfaced video. She said she doesn't even fit to run a household, let alone California. We got that and more in our Culture Clash.
Everybody's reporting the same stories, the same spin. You turn the channel, it's always the same. But not us. We're different. We report the real news. No spin, just the facts. Turn to us, and you won't turn back.
Tune in to Rob Schmidt tonight on Newsmax.
My employees and I want to thank all of you at Newsmax for your continued support of MyPillow. It's because of you and the grace of God that we're making it through. And to thank you, we're bringing you the best offers ever. Get our MyPillow bed sheets, only $29.88. Any color, any style, any size, even kings, regular $119.98, now only $29.88. Our My Towels are finally back in stock. Get a 6-piece My Towel set, regular $69.98, now only $39.98. Towels that actually work. What a concept. And for the first time and the only time ever, you're going to get our limited edition premium My Pillows. They're made with Giza cotton and a designer gusset. Queen $17.98, Kings only $19.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code when you order today. Inventory for these offers are extremely limited, and once they're gone, they're gone.
October 7th, 1,200 killed in Israel, 46 Americans, 250 taken hostage.
What happened here is a large-scale invasion. They entered Israel to kill anyone that they can.
Just shooting everyone like in a duck range.
We come back to the car, and there's 2 baby seats with hundreds of bullets.
And then she texted me, "I love you, you're everything." And she stopped answering.
In my kibbutz, we had a baby 9 months old that they murdered.
Hamas murdered my sister. When I buried her, I buried a part of myself.
I think Hamas would do it again. Raping women, beheading babies, killing innocent people.
As long as Hamas is over there, we're not gonna have peace no matter what we're gonna do.
Let's stand for freedom, not terror.
Hello, everyone. It's President Donald J. Trump, and it's Trump time. Check out this red beauty. It's one of my new watches. Wear it proudly on your wrist, and everyone will know exactly what it's for, who it represents. It's really going to be something special. It's for your favorite president. Get your watch today at gettrumpwatches.com. Please make a great gift. It's Trump time.
Get unlimited satellite internet when you switch to Viasat. No data caps, no contracts. Just a fast, reliable connection installed by pros. Visit getviasat.com or call 877-VIASAT-7 to sign up today. Viasat, internet without limits.
Oh, Katie Porter, the voice of not-so-reason in California, getting exposed. More video. Politico releasing a clip of Katie Porter just unleashing on some staffer who was trying to help her in the background back in 2021. Roll it.
Californians dying prematurely to air pollution and other problems, and the state could lose. Get out of my shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles. It's that if we don't meet the commitments under the Paris Climate Accord.
Okay, it does. Okay, you also were in my shot before that. Stay out of my shot. Okay.
She's a single mom? Weird. I'm sure she's stable enough to run the state of California. Shawn Farash, comedian, host of Ungoverned on Elevate TV. Kay Smythe, writer for KSmytheHill.com. Shawn, just go.
Yes. Okay. There was a story about Katie Porter that apparently came out in 2023. You mentioned she's a single mom, right? Single mom. She didn't always used to be single. She has been a mom for a while, but she hadn't always used to be single. There were divorce proceedings that took place in 2023 that said she poured a pot of boiling mashed potatoes on her husband's head during a fight. And I look at that, and I look at Katie Porter, and I said, wow, what did he say to make her get rid of perfectly good potatoes? Because look at her. Doesn't look like somebody who likes to turn away food too often. Okay, you look at this person, right? She's one of those 30,000-pound bunker busters we dropped on Iran. You look at her. But I said, holy moly, this woman is a certifiable nut job. Unbelievable. Now, I don't know which Democrats want her out of this race, but when you leak damaging videos to Politico, it's obviously an inside job. So she's clearly gotten enough people upset that they don't like her, and I think this is hilarious.
Okay, that was, to Shawn's point, like, how mad do you have to be? If you're like a young Democrat, all you want to do is make your way work for a Democrat campaign. If you're trying to be like, let me go leak this video of her, like, that's bad.
I think it's just going to be a torrent of this for months and months on end.
No pun.
I think she probably thought that she was like top of the ticket. Like, it's kind of sad. Like, we go from Gavin Newsom, who at least was representative of California in the sense that, like, even though he had a lot of grease, he had relatively good hair. Look at that. No one wants to look at that face in California. That's not representative of the liberal, but albeit pretty beautiful people that live there. I hate to say it. I lived there for, 5 minutes. I wasn't quite as pretty for Southern California as probably some wanted me to be, but no one wants to look at that for another, I don't even know how long the term is. What is it, 6 years in California? But I think so it's partly the fact that she probably forced herself to be in the position of the front runner. I heard rumors that she was just supposed to be put in there and then do a terrible job and then be replaced by Kamala, who's not running because she, is illiterate and drunk all the time, so she can't run for governor of California. Also unattractive. I pray for the state that I like to call my sort of home state in America. I pray for it. I really want the GOP to put up someone who can just compete with these psycho Democrats. That's all I want to see at this point. I'm sick of hearing about Katie Porter after all these clips come out. We've seen she's not good.
It's bizarre.
Let's put someone decent.
All right, so this is, I got to get your take on Letitia James being indicted, Shawn. This is such gold. She's literally indicted by a grand jury. There was evidence produced that had to be decided by an independent grand jury that could not be compromised. Okay, so it's not like Trump just chose to indict her on the very thing that she spent millions of taxpayer dollars trying to get Trump on.
It is so funny when the people who say nobody's above the law break the laws that they tried to use and twist to weaponize against Donald Trump. I think this is hilarious. You see Letitia James, another one, right, is not a pretty face, as Kay was talking about when it comes to Katie Porter, although she will look very pretty if she goes to jail for mortgage fraud. Now, you're the Attorney General of the state of New York. You would think you'd maybe not make an oopsie and say that you live somewhere else. This is just a get out of my shot. You would see that this it's unbelievable. Get out of my shot. This is Letitia James. I'm going to start doing that every time I go on camera. I'm going to start screaming, get out of my shot. No, this is so funny. Get out of my shot. I am so excited to see Letitia, I call her Sasquatch, Letitia James indicted for mortgage fraud. It's great.
Yeah. Okay, the other thing, too, this is so wild to me. Kash Patel comes out, and he releases this report that 5% of Chicago's 2.5 million residents are active gang members. And I'm thinking to myself, they're like, we don't want the National Guard. Forget the National Guard. Roll in the Army, the Air Force, the Marines. Roll in everybody. If 5% of an entire state, that's literally an army of gang members. How did you let it get to this point, Brandon Johnson?
Because he wanted it to get to this point. That was the whole point of it. And it's not just, this is happening in every major blue city across the country. If you think it's alone, it's not. It's truly not. Oh, God, we have to look at another. Oh, really? Okay, we're just going to watch another one. Another idiot that's trying to destroy this country. Another Democrat idiot trying to destroy this country, right?
Okay, Kay, hold on. So Brandon Johnson thinks Trump is targeting him, though, because Trump was like, you should be in jail for how bad you've treated the residents. Yeah. He goes, well, it's because I'm black. It's like, no, because 30 people got shot in your city last weekend.
Yeah, it's because they've cultivated lawlessness to the point of normalization. Carl, I completely agree with you. Send in the army, send in the military. We have historical precedent for it. I mean, didn't they send in the National Guard when certain schools, I think it was in Arkansas,
Brown versus
didn't
Board of
allow, didn't sort of like get rid of segregation? Like, I mean, there's so much historical precedent for it. Like, if we sent in the National Guard to allow children to go to school all those years ago, surely we can send in the military to fight the literal cartels that run these cities. Like, it is insane to me that we've let it get this far. Like,
Chicago is, in fact, more deadly than Fallujah and Baghdad when I was over there. So, well, not, I should say, more deadly for Americans because we did work over there. Shawn, Kay, we appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Carl.
All right. I'm going to get yelled at for that one. Coming up, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem making it clear today that this administration will be doubling down on their federal presence in Portland against Antifa and the mob. Next.
Hey, it's Mark Lauder. My career's taken me from the State House to the White House, campaigns for mayor, all the way to President of the United States. I came to Newsmax to help our viewers get more than the headlines, beyond the spin. It's a perspective you'll only see on Newsmax.
People always ask, why Patriot Gold Group? With over 10,000 clients to date and over $1 billion in transactions, not a single complaint on the Better Business Bureau. Consumer Affairs top rated for 9 years in a row. Over 2,000 5-star reviews. The only company nationwide where you, the client, work directly with an owner. Home of the no fee for life IRA. Gold is up 80% in the last 28 months, 275% since Lehman Brothers collapsed. We are patriots protecting patriots. Give Patriot Gold Group a call at 888-528-4290 before it's too late. Patriot Gold Group is Consumer Affairs' top-rated gold and silver dealer 9 years in a row. Call now, 888-528-4290.
Hi, folks. I'd like to tell you about Y Refi. Did you know that as an accredited investor, when you invest in Y Refi, your interest rate is fixed? You can invest from 1 to 5 years, and you can spread your investment over those terms that best suit your needs. You also have the freedom to take your monthly interest income or reinvest it, whatever you choose. When you invest in Y Refi, your interest is calculated daily, and you're paid monthly, and should you need your money back early, there is a liquidity feature. Would you like some more information? Just call 877-80-INVEST. That's 877-80-INVEST. Or log on to investyrefi.com. That's investyrefi.com. For complete details, make sure to review the private placement memorandum and scan this QR code to view the disclosures at your leisure. Y Refi, investing in America's future.
Drop is finally here. Drop delivers the weight loss benefits of GLP-1 injections in easy-to-use oral drops, no needles.
That's right. The two big drawbacks with weight loss injections are high costs and weekly injections. Drop is flavorless and odorless, so you can just add it to water or your favorite beverage. Drop offers other advantages over injections too. With Drop, you can personalize your dosage based on your weight loss goals.
And because you add Drop to any liquid, there's no concern about injection site infections, bruising, or dosage confusion.
Drop is the easier, safer, cost-effective alternative to help you achieve your weight loss goals without the needles.
Can't find it anywhere? The Wellness Company has it. No consultation needed. Simply order online and use promo code SLIM to save $100. Visit dropthepounds.com/slim. That's promo code SLIM at dropthepounds.com/slim.
Don't miss this week's featured flooring deals at Lumber Liquidators, now through October 16th. Laminate flooring as low as 59 cents a square foot. Bellawood 8.5-inch pre-finished white oak for $4.99 a square foot. Hurry, ends October 16th. LumberLiquidators.com.
I was in Portland, went out and back on Tuesday and met with the governor, met with the mayor, met with the chief of police and the superintendent of the highway patrol. They're all lying and disingenuous and dishonest people because as soon as you leave the room, then they make the exact opposite response. So we're looking at new facilities to purchase. They're in Portland too, and we're going to double down. And I told them if they didn't meet our demands for safety and security on the streets and work with us, then we were going to bring in more federal law enforcement.
There's a noble concept, law enforcement enforcing laws. Kristi Noem obviously laying down the law at the cabinet meeting today, threatening to bring in more law enforcement if the Portland authorities continue to not do their job. I mean, it's not the men on the ground. It's really the headshed ordering them not to do anything. This administration is not messing around. This is exactly what I voted for. Someone who knows the wrath of the left all too well, Cam Higbie, no relation, field reporter, journalist, and commentator for Today is America. Cam, I just watched you get arrested for getting punched by one of these guys, and then they dropped all the charges, but now you want an apology, and then you were sitting next to Trump the other day. It was great.
Yeah, that was actually Nick who got arrested. I did almost get arrested, though, at Union Station in Washington, D.C. because one of these criminals attacked me. Yeah. She just came up and actually wanted to have a discussion. We were counter-protesting these people in D.C., and she came up and she wanted to have a discussion, and then she became increasingly aggressive and attacked me, and so I bear sprayed her. Cops almost arrested me, ultimately ended up arresting her because she became very hostile and aggressive.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, you lit up the news yesterday. I was actually watching the press conference, and this was so funny at the round table. You're sitting next to the president, you just leaned in and laid into the media. Roll this.
When I leave my house to go to work, I am violently assaulted. I've had guns pulled on me. I've been bear sprayed. I've been beaten down. I've been almost killed. So my question for all of you is, how would you feel if every time you showed up to work, masked militants tried to kill you? Because that's how we feel. That's our lived reality. And you guys go and tell us that we're liars, the riots aren't that bad, right? I've never seen any of you guys on the ground. In fact, I've never seen anybody representing the companies you work for on the ground. You guys come to us for interviews that never get published. Stop saying we're lying. We're not. We risk our lives every day to do the job that you guys are too afraid to do.
Cam, you should have told me you felt threatened. I'm your Huckleberry, man. Like, I have a very unique set of skills.
Amazing. Come out with me. You might be one of the only media guys who will actually come out with me.
I'd love to. But like, this is the serious thing, though, is you're going out there, like, you're not paid by any major organization. This is what you do, and you sell your footage, and like, you're an independent journalist that makes your money based on whether or not you succeed in your objective of getting the action. So you have to go in there. How frustrating is it to see somebody who's sitting there in an ivory tower being like, well, that didn't actually happen? It's like, yes, it did.
Yeah, I've actually invited them to come down from their ivory towers and maybe get on the ground with us. It's especially frustrating when I look just across that table at the White House and I see my friend who I have been in the field with, who's had my back. I've had her back. Katie Davis Court sitting right across that table with a big black eye in the White House. Mm-hmm. That is infuriating when you look at all these pompous journalists in their suits, which is fine. We're in suits too, but we're not writing articles saying that other journalists are lying, right? Riots aren't violent or whatever, while there's somebody sitting right across from you with a black eye. And I've had to deploy self-defense countless times to protect my own life and also to protect other people's lives. Katie was chased into an intersection back in May, I think, by two Antifa militants that were about 5 times her size. Yeah. And I had to miss them and get them off her.
Real tough guys. Erin Burnett, though, had a lot to say about Antifa violence on CNN. She played a video of Kristi Noem comparing the group to Hezbollah and Hamas and MS-13. And this is crazy. Listen to this.
Incredible. Hamas has just been engaged in a 2-year war that we just announced the first stage of a peace plan to a few moments ago. And ISIS, these are incredible things to say. And obviously, I'm not going to sit here and defend anybody who considers themselves part of an Antifa movement, such that it is. But such that it is the operative part of that sentence. Antifa is far from a major sophisticated terror organization like Hezbollah, Hamas, or ISIS. In fact, it's not even like far-right groups like the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers, which have had national leaders, unlike Antifa. There is no organized hierarchy to the group, and according to the Center for Strategic and International Studies, compared to right-wing extremists, Antifa-linked violence is rare and limited.
There it was, the right-wing extremists. Always got to throw that one in there, even though there's no credible data to back that up.
Yeah, rare and limited. Like, I'll tell you what, when I was in Seattle outside the Henry M. Jackson Federal Building on No King's Day, after the sun fell, there was a riot there, and 3 dudes walked up to me in black wearing balaclavas, all who are self-proclaimed members of Antifa, held me down, beat me down, they choked me out, kicked me in the face, and then punched me twice with armored gloves filled with either fiberglass or steel or lead shot.
Nice.
And almost killed me. If I didn't have a helmet on, I would have been killed. Rare violence. It happens every night that we're at these places.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, Cam Higbie, we appreciate it very much. Keep doing what you're doing. We are going to connect, and we're going to get out there together. All right, coming up, residents in a Midwest town are pushing back over public Muslim calls for prayer over huge loudspeakers 5 times a day. I'd be annoyed, too.
My employees and I want to thank all of you at Newsmax for your continued support of MyPillow. It's because of you and the grace of God that we're making it through. And to thank you, we're bringing you the best offers ever. Get our MyPillow bed sheets, only $29.88. Any color, any style, any size, even kings, regularly $119.98, now only $29.88. Our My Towels are finally back in stock. Get a 6-piece My Towel set, regular $69.98, now only $39.98. Towels that actually work. What a concept. And for the first time and the only time ever, you're going to get our limited edition premium My Pillows. They're made with Giza cotton and a designer gusset. Queen $17.98, Kings only $19.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code when you order today. Inventory for these offers are extremely limited, and once they're gone, they're gone.
WeatherTech products are designed and manufactured in America using only American raw materials. Most competitors make things 7,000 miles away and then wonder why they don't fit. With WeatherTech in your vehicle, you may hear angels singing as you marvel. How do they do it? Simple. American technology and American workers deliver quality, not imported junk for a few bucks less. Get the world's best floor liners and support America. Find your fit at WT.com.
October 7th, 1,200 killed in Israel, 46 Americans, 250 taken hostage.
What happened here is a large-scale invasion. They entered Israel to kill anyone that they can.
Just shooting everyone like in a duck range.
We come back to the car, and there's 2 baby seats with hundreds of bullets.
And then she texted me, "I love you, you're everything." And she stopped answering.
In my kibbutz, we had a baby 9 months old that they murdered.
Hamas murdered my sister. When I buried her, I buried a part of myself.
I think Hamas would do it again. Raping women, beheading babies, killing innocent people.
As long as Hamas is over there, we're not gonna have peace no matter what we're gonna do.
Let's stand for freedom, not terror.
When an earache strikes, you need relief fast. Introducing Earache RX from Dr. Easy, the makers of Wax RX. Not just another eardrop, Earache RX is real medicine with 4% lidocaine. Earache RX has the maximum strength available without a prescription. Strong enough for adults, yet gentle enough for kids. Earache RX gives you fast relief that starts working on contact. Don't wait for an earache to strike. Get the power of real medicine. Get Earache RX at these fine retailers.
Do you feel if you were woken up every day around 5 a.m. to the sounds of the Muslim call for prayer? And not just at 5 a.m. only. It's 5 times a day, interrupting whatever routine, waking up your children. That's what is going on in Dearborn, Michigan right now. Residents are dealing with that. They're begging for it to stop. Nope. Anybody else who blasts noise at 5 a.m. would be cited for a noise violation. This call to prayer isn't about religious freedom, folks. The Muslim, I spent a ton of time in Iraq. The Muslim call for prayer acknowledges that every other religion but Islam is false. That's what they're trying to do. It's a public proclamation of Islamic supremacy. Now, it's a city law. Like first Dearborn, then Minneapolis, then, who knows? Maybe your city tomorrow. Patrick Dorinson, the Common Sense Cowboy and author of the great book, The Common Sense Cowboy's Guide to Life. Patrick, maybe we should get some big speakers, slap them on a lifted pickup truck, and blast Creed 30 seconds before 5 a.m. every morning.
Well, I'd prefer we blast Onward Christian Soldiers, but that's just me. Look, what has happened in Dearborn, Michigan is something that's already happened throughout England, if you look what's happened. They're taking over towns. They're taking over towns in Ireland. That's a preview of what we're getting in this country. And you're right. You know, who has the right to blast that every morning and upset everybody in the whole town? They do, because they're Muslims. And, you know, God forsake you if the media ever catches you calling, they'll call you an Islamophobe. They'll say, oh, you just hate these people. You don't, what about freedom of worship?
I don't want it blasting at 5 a.m.
Yeah. I mean, but we've forgotten one thing in this country. When we let people come, we forgot the idea of assimilation. Look, you got to give up a few things. You got to say, okay, I got my own alarm clock. I know when I have to pray. That's what you have to do. You just don't get to say, I'm running things, and this is the way it's going to be. And like that mayor of Dearborn told that citizen, you don't like it, get out. So I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, we'll see, and we'll report on it. This is interesting. This is some woke pastor he's actually an Antifa member, masquerading as a pastor. He's now suing the Trump administration after being shot in the head by ICE with rubber pellets and like tear gas paintballs or whatever. You tell me what's going on here. Roll this. So this guy is doing that. It appeared to be he was on federal property, but now he's got this whole shtick that like, I'm a pastor. Let me tell you, I am an ordained minister of the Universal Life Church. It's my name right there. I officiate weddings. This is such garbage. I got one of those collars too, but I'm not going to go out holier than thou talking about, oh yeah, ICE is terrible. But this is so crazy to me.
Well, let's look at a couple things. First of all, he's not a pastor at all. He's some divinity student who's kind of masquerading as a pastor, so the turned around collar doesn't mean a darn thing. Second of all, he's trying to recreate the days of the 60s in the South when white pastors would go arm in arm with, black civil rights leaders, and they'd get fire hosed. The only difference was, and then they were trying to protect the rights of American citizens, black citizens. Here they're trying to defend the rights of illegal immigrants. So that's another thing. The third, he's a member of the Presbyterian Church, which is the biggest bunch of progressives ever to set foot in the mainline Christian Protestant religion. So he's a big fraud, and he's trying to get, attention out there. And by the way, if he really thought that he was going to do something, he'd obey the law as Jesus obeyed the law. Because you remember when they tried to trick him and say, should we pay taxes to the Romans? He said, well, you got to pay taxes. You got to obey the Roman law. Render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, but to God, which is God's.
It's going to be interesting to see where that goes, too. Patrick Dorinson, my man. Thank you, sir.
You bet.
All right, Thursday, we got comments for Carl next.
The press won't report the real story.
The American people are actually very smart.
Ridiculous statements.
These guys are just plain weird.
Actual scandals.
Even the immunity decision. I mean, that decision was so misreported.
That's my job, and I aim to do it every night.
Hello, everyone. It's President Donald J. Trump, and it's Trump time. Check out this red beauty. It's one of my new watches. Wear it proudly on your wrist, and everyone will know exactly what it's for, who it represents. It's really going to be something special. It's for your favorite president. Get your watch today at gettrumpwatches.com. Please make a great gift. It's Trump time.
Do you have a yo-yo smile? Sometimes yellow, sometimes white. It's a constant battle between everyday stains and whitening treatments. Until now, get Smile Actives, the daily teeth whitening breakthrough that gives you a more youthful smile and helps you keep it.
At 43 years old, I don't mess around with products that waste my time. Smile Actives is easy, and it works. No gloopy trays, no messy strips. Just add a little bit on top of your toothpaste when you brush your teeth. And ta-da! White teeth.
Just add Smile Actives to your favorite toothpaste and watch the magic happen. Our patented Polyclean microfoam lifts away deep stains for a dramatically younger and whiter smile.
You have a choice. You can have those yellow teeth and just be old Nana or Pop-Pop, or you can be smiling and dazzling and full of confidence. I love my white teeth.
Scan, click, or call for your whitest smile yet. And if you order right now, we'll double your whitening free. Get an extra Smile Actives as our free gift to you, but only while supplies last.
I drink coffee every day. I started noticing that my teeth were not as bright as I'd like them to be, a little dingy, but Smile Active, it works. Got your boy gleaming.
100% of users saw whiter teeth. Smile Actives lifts away even the toughest stains from coffee, wine, and food, gently restoring your bright, youthful smile. Plus, it's safe for veneers, crowns, and dentures.
It's really a no-brainer if you want to whiten your teeth.
Clinically shown to brighten your teeth 5 shades whiter in just 7 days.
If you could use something so easy like Smile Actives to take yellow teeth to white teeth, why wouldn't you?
Act now. Get Smile Actives for just $24.95 and we'll double your order. Free. But hurry, this deal won't last. Smile Actives is guaranteed to work. Whiten your teeth or get your money back. No questions asked. Don't wait. Get Smile Actives for just $24.95 and we'll send you a second bottle absolutely free. That's free shipping. A free extra bottle. That's an incredible 58% savings. Scan the code, go to smileactives.com or call to get your beautiful whiter smile now.
When curiosity strikes about your family story, we're here with answers only your ancestors can provide. Right now, your whole story is on sale.
Fruits and vegetables are meant to stay whole. At Balance of Nature, we freeze dry them, locking in their color, taste, smell, and thousands of phytonutrients, so you get it all. Get 40% off by using discount code FALLPRIME.
Prices keep climbing. Groceries, gas, everything.
I know, even with a new administration, fixing policies, keeping the economy in line will take time.
I'm so glad we signed up for Noble Gold Investments Value Lock program.
We tied our savings to gold. It's an asset that keeps pace with inflation. When prices go up, so does gold.
So when we need our cash, the value's still there.
Secure your savings with Noble Gold's Value Lock. Call 877-646-5347 or visit noblegoldinvestments.com.
Comments for Carl. Let's go. First tweet is, here's your daily delusion, honestly, from Daryl. Trump lives in Obama's shadow. He craves fear, not love, yet can't stand being hated. History will mark him as the most disliked. Obama deported 3 million with no chaos, keeping ICE home and on short leash. Trump's second term made totally 1.5, chaotic, cruel, and never matching Barack. Okay, first off, Trump doesn't create fear. He's actually the guy who just ended 8 wars. The people who hate him are like you, dude, Daryl. Clearly, by that tweet, you guys love hate, and Obama deported a lot more than 3 million people. And the reason he didn't have chaos is because Democrats, like you, didn't protest it like they are now. So if Democrats would just stop shooting at ICE facilities and stop protesting ICE agents, there wouldn't be any chaos. This goes back to my point a few weeks ago where there's no consistent definition of what a great America looks like between the right and left. We had a lot of good ones this week, and if you don't like dogs, I believe there is something wrong with you. So I think they're very pure of heart. This person, Carl Higbie, we love you. Even our dogs love your show. This was awesome to me, watching Shawn and Kay. When I see a dog watching my show, I consider it a compliment. To be on and to tweet this too. Your dog's awesome. You people are cool too, I guess. All right, Gunnery Sergeant Jack made me this awesome Captain America. I mean, look at this thing. He got the 2-part epoxy on it. Thanks, Jack. We appreciate it. And look at how much it means to me. Like that you guys take this whole hour, 5 days a week. I can't even get my wife to listen to me this much. And Luis wants me to do 2 more hours, tweeting, Carl, we need to have you on the weekend shows. Without your therapy sessions every day, the weekends are not fun anymore. And I'm super humbled by this, your commitment to watching me. I really am. It makes it a really nice time to spend it with you. But Rob, we work. We don't even take the vacation days we do have.
I do.
You do? What am I doing wrong? I mean,
I leave a few behind.
I lose a bunch every year.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean, I couldn't do 7 days of this.
It's true. Yeah, that'd be a lot. That would be a lot. Carl, I like this, by the way. That's cool. I like it.
It'll go very well. All right, big show.
Good to see you, Carl.
Take it away.
Thanks so much. All right.